use the tools or the payment methods without immediate full settlement of the price of the goods. So you pay an amount and then you take the possession of the goods, and then the other amounts you pay them in installments. Now with hire purchase agreement, the selling price will include the normal cash price. The selling price will include the normal cash price. It will include the normal cash price plus the hire purchase interest. The cash price plus hire purchase interest. The normal cash price plus the hire purchase interest. So that will constitute the hire purchase selling price. So the seller will agree that the buyer could hire the goods by payments of deposit and installments. Payments of deposit and installment. So the hire purchase price equals the cash price. It equals the cash price plus the total hire purchase interest. And this we have noted there. It includes the cash price plus the total hire purchase interest, or a deposit, which is also known as the down payment, plus the outstanding balance, So the outstanding balance includes the hire purchase interest that is paid by installments. It includes the hire purchase interest that is paid by installments. Now, if we look at the calculation of the hire purchase interest, we are going to look at three methods that we can use to calculate the hire purchase interest. The first method is known as the straight line method. The straight line method. Then we have number two, the sum of digits. Number two, we have sum of digits. Sum of digits. Then number three, we have actuarial method. Number three, we have actuarial. So these are the three methods that we can use to calculate the hire purchase interest. So I want us to start by looking at the straight line method. Now, for the straight line method, it is also referred to us in some books as equal apportionment. So in this method, the interest is apportioned evenly over the number of installments agreed upon. The interest is apportioned evenly over the number of installments agreed upon, and therefore we have to calculate the hire purchase interest per installment. We have to calculate the hire purchase interest per installment. Now, the hire purchase interest per installment, the hire purchase interest per installment will be given by the total. You take the total hire purchase, you take the total hire purchase interest, total hire purchase interest, divide by the number of installments, divide by the number of installments. So if you do that, then we'll now get the hire purchase interest per installment. We'll get the hire purchase interest per installment. So that is the formula. So an example, we can look at an example. Assume that an asset is acquired on the following terms, terms. One, the cash price is 9,000. So the cash price is 9,000 shillings. This is the cash price. Then we have the down payment, 1,000. Down payment is 1,000, and then we have hire purchase price, 12,200. That is the hire purchase price. Then we are told the normal rate of interest. Normal rate of interest is 10%. 10% normal rate of interest. And then lastly, the 4 annual installments at 2,800. 2,800 for installments. For installments at 2,800. So that is what we have. So we are told to calculate the total hire purchase interest that are payable for a year, for the entire period, and then also we get the interest that will be payable per annum. So now, in this case, we will look at now the hire purchase price. So our total hire purchase price, we are told, is 12,200. Remember, the cash price is 9,000 shillings. 9,000 shillings. And then we are also been given the interest, which is calculated per annum as 10%. That is what we have. The installments, we have them as 2,800 for equal installments. So it means that now for year 1, we'll pay 2,800, year 2, 2,800, year 3, 2,800, and year 4, 2,800. Remember, we also have the down payment as 1,000 shillings. So there are two ways in which we can solve this. Remember, we are in the straight line method. So in straight line, the installments will be paid evenly. So that is why you see the 2,800 being paid for the 4 years, the hire purchase period. So to solve this, we can use two methods. I want us to start with the first one. So it will be the onus is in you to choose which method is compatible to you. Now, in our first method, we have the cash price, which is 9,000 shillings. Remember, there is a down payment of 1,000 shillings. So what we'll do is that we'll take the cash price. We'll take the cash price, which is 9,000. And then we subtract 1,000, the down payment, from it. Remember, what we are finding here is the hire purchase interest. So you take the 9,000 minus 1,000, and then this we multiply it by the rate that we have been given, which is 10%. So that will be 10 out of 100. So if you do that, what will we get there? So what we are trying to find out here is the hire purchase interest. Hire purchase interest. So if you multiply this, what will we have? If you subtract 1,000 from 9,000, we'll have 8,000. So 8,000 times 10%. 8,000 times 10%. What will that give us? Cecilia? What will that give us? 8,000 times 10 over 100. 800, on Koba, Kavesu, Cecilia, 800. So the interest there will be 800. Joram, Yenga, Rebecca, Kimani. So that is okay. So that will be 800. So once we've got the interest, remember in straight line method, the interest is the same throughout the period of the hire purchase agreement. So now to know now the installments that will be paid for both year 1 and 2, we know that it will be 2,800, yes, but we have to work it out. So what we can do, we can prepare a table. Maybe we can have the year, and remember there are 4 years. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. We have already calculated the interest, so our next column we can have the hire purchase interest. And remember, the interest is the same in the straight line method. So interest for year 1 will be 800. Year 2, the same, 800. Year 3, and year 4. Now, we are paying this interest in 4 years. Remember, the cash price was 9,000. So if we subtract the down payment, which is 1,000, then it means that the difference which we have is 8,000. So for this 8,000, the capital now, we will divide the 8,000 by 4 years, because that is the time period for paying the hire purchase. So we'll have the capital here. So if we do that, then 8,000 divided by 4, that will give us 2,000 shillings for every year. So that is the capital. So now to get now the installments now, will add the capital. We now add the capital to the hire purchase interest. We add the capital to hire purchase interest. So we'll add this to give us, so 800 plus 2,000. Now this will give us the installment. So you can fill that part until the last one, but it is just 2,800 shillings. So this is the first method that we can use to get the amount of the hire purchase interest that will be payable per annum. Now, the second method is by, first of all, getting the total hire purchase interest, Now, the total hire purchase interest, we can obtain it by, so maybe I can write that first, total hire purchase interest. Remember, in our problem, we said that we said that our hire purchase price was 12,200 and the cash price is 9,000. So the total hire purchase interest will take the hire purchase price, which is 12,200, 12,200 minus now the cash price, which is 9,000. So what will that give us? If you subtract 9,000 from 12,200, what is the difference? Kelvin Macharia. Kelvin, okay, on Koba 3,200. So that is the total hire purchase interest, 3,200. But now you find that now this interest will be paid in 4 installments. So the hire purchase interest per year, now the hire purchase interest per year will now have 3,200 divided by 4. So again, that will give us the amount there, which is 800 as the interest that will be paid per year. So this is the interest that will be paid for every year. Any question in the straight line method of calculating hire purchase interest? Okay. Then we can move on then to the next method, which is actuarial. The next method is actuarial. So number 2, actuarial method. Now for the actuarial method, the interest is charged on the outstanding balance of the cash price after the down payment is made. In the actuarial method, interest is charged on outstanding balance. Interest charged. So interest is charged on the outstanding balance interest charged on the outstanding balance after the down payment has been made. After the down payment has been made. The interest is charged on the outstanding balance after the down payment has been made. So this, we can look at it in where there is the equal installments or even where there is unequal installments. Now, if we are looking at a case where we are using the equal installments, then to derive the equal installment, to derive the equal installment, now what we'll do is that we'll take the higher purchase price. We take the higher purchase price minus the down payment then we divide the difference there. We divide the difference by the number of installments. So that is if we have equal installments, you take the higher purchase price minus the down payment, divide by the number of installments. So if we look at an example, assume that an asset is acquired on the following terms. Assume that the asset is acquired on the following terms. The cash price is 9,000. Cash price is 9,000. Then we have, let me see if I can post it on the chat platform so that we move faster. Okay, are you able to see it? The example 2 I've posted on the chat platform, on the public chat. Okay, thank you. So that is the example there that we have, so that I don't keep on writing. So an asset is acquired on the following terms: cash price 9,000, down payment 1,000, higher purchase price 11,096. The interest is 10% on the outstanding balance. So we are told to calculate the installment. We calculate the installment. So now what will we do if maybe they are paying the remaining amount in 4 equal installments? They are paying it in 4 equal installments. So if that is what we are told to do, now remember, we have said for the equal installments, we take the higher purchase price. We take the higher purchase price minus the down payment times the number of installments. Now the number of installments are 4. So what we do is that now we will take the higher purchase price, which is 11,096, minus the down payment, which is 1,000. Then we divide this by the number of installments, which are 4. So what will that give us? 1196 minus 1,000 divided by 4. I hope your calculators are ready. So I'm told that this will give us 25, 24. Okay, Waweru Albert, Joram Jenga, Mwasi Onkoba. That's good. Belinda Kavesu. Okay, so that is the installment that Rebecca Kimani, Cecilia Mwangi, 2524, that's correct. So that is the installment that will be expected to be paid. Now, sometimes you can be required to prepare the amount of the installments that will be paid now for the 4 years. Remember, this is the first method. Remember, I've shown you the two methods. So this is one of them of getting the installment. The other method is where we are preparing now the table. So we can also look at that, where we have the year. So 1, 2. It is good to know the two of them, two methods. So 4. We have 4 years. Then now the interest here, higher purchase interest. So this now the calculation will be different. Now for year 1, we start with the cash price, which is 9,000. Then minus the installment, which is 1,000. Then we multiply that difference by the interest, which is 10%. So 10% is 10 over 100. So if you multiply that, then it means that now the interest here for year 1 will be 800. So remember, that is just the interest. Then we have now the capital. Capital. Capital, and then in the last column we have installments. So how will we get the capital for year 1? Capital for year 1. Capital for year 1. Remember how we were getting the capital? What will be the capital for year 1? Hey, members. Yes? Capital for year 1. Rebecca, Joram, capital for year 1. What will be our capital here for year 1? How have you got 2774, Joram? Rebecca, 2524. No, I'm talking of the capital for year 1. Year 1. Capital for year 1. Joram was a bit closer to it. Yes? Remember, already we know the installments here to be 2524. That is the installment. So now the capital now will subtract this from this. We subtract 800 from that, and that will be, yes, if we subtract that, 1724. Yes, not 2000. Okay, 1724, that's okay. Then now we go to year 2. We go to year 2. Now in year 2, remember, already for the cash price, the 1,000 has been paid in year 1. So what we have is now 8,000 plus this interest, this percent, the higher purchase interest here for year 1, which is 800. The higher purchase interest 800 minus now the installment that has been paid for year 1, which is 2524. I hope we are clear about that. So you take the outstanding balance. So 9,000 minus 1,000, the outstanding balance now will in year 2 will be 8,000 shillings, plus now the interest, higher purchase interest that was supposed to be paid in year 1, which is 800, and then minus the installment that would have been paid by the time we are in year 2, which is 2524. So that, if you get that, then we multiply this by 10%. So that will give us the higher purchase interest for year 2. So what will that give us? Please, if there is anything that you don't understand, please let me know. 8,000 plus 800 minus 2524. 627.6, so that will be 628. So if we round off, that will be 628. And remember, again, we know that the installment will be equal. So again, the installment here will be 2524. So what will be our capital? Now you subtract 628 from 2524. 1896. So maybe we can do the one for year 3. Can do the one for year 3, and then I let you to do the one for year 4. Now, if we move to year 3 now, the outstanding balance for year 3 will be this. You take 8,000 plus 800 minus 225, 24. That will give us 6276. So the outstanding balance there is 6276. 62.76. Then again, now we add. Please, if you don't understand how I've got the 62.76, you can ask. What we have done is we have taken the 8,000 shillings plus 800 and then we subtract 25.24. That is how we've got the 62.76. So that will be our outstanding balance. Then we add the interest for year 2, which is 628. 628. Then minus the installment for year 2, which is 25.24. Again times 10%. So what will that give us? What will that give us? 62.76 plus 628 minus 25.24. So Kavesu 438, Belinda 438, Onkoba 438. So the interest here is 438. Remember the installment is equal. The installment is still 25.24. Therefore, what will be our capital? You subtract this from this to get our capital. Avesu 2086, that's good. Joram Jenga 2086. Okay, thank you. Now I want you to calculate now the hire purchase interest for year 4. You get the capital for year 4. The installment will be the same, will still be 25.24. So can we get the hire purchase interest for year 4? Hire purchase interest for year 4. Yes, guys, I'm waiting for you to get the hire purchase interest for year 4. Kavesu 229.4, so that is just 230. 230, that's correct. Waweru Albert 4380. 4380 is the outstanding balance. So 4380 is the outstanding balance here. Then you add it to the interest for year 3, 438. Now minus 25.24. Yes. On COBA, that's okay. 2330. Sorry, not 2330, but 230. Waweru is typing. Belinda, okay, is okay. That's okay. So remember, this is how we can calculate the hire purchase interest in straight line method when the installments are equal. And that's why you see that our installments here, they are both 25.24. Now, next, I want us to look at how we can calculate the interest with unequal installments. unequal installment. So for the unequal installments, if the installments are not equal, then to get the higher purchase interest, about my line, to get the higher purchase interest, what we'll do is that we will take the cash price. So maybe I can note it down here. We take the cash price minus the down payment then cash price minus the down payment, and we add interest accrued, so plus accrued interest over the number of installments. Over the number of installments. So that is how we'll get now the higher purchase interest if the installments are not equal. So again, I want to post an example in our public chat. Please check if you can see our example 3. Our example 3. An asset is acquired on the following terms. Again, the cash price is 9,000. The down payment is 1,000. The higher purchase price 11,000. The interest is 10% on the outstanding balance, and we are paying again in 4 annual installments. We are paying again in 4 annual installments. So again, we can solve that and show it in a table. We can solve that and show it in a table. Remember, we are in actuarial method. The others, are you able to see what we have there for example 3? Okay, so that we move on. Okay, thank you. Thank you, thank you. So we can also do that. Remember now, if we are paying, if the cash price is 9,000 and the down payment is 1,000, so it means that now in this case the outstanding balance will be 8,000 in terms of the capital. Now this 8,000, the capital will be paid in 4 installments. So in 4 installments, we'll divide this 8,000 by 4, and if we divide that, we'll get 2,000 shillings. for the capital for each year. So remember, the interest is what will be different in this case, but the capital will be the same. We'll be paying 2,000, and in most cases we refer to that 2,000 as now the principal amount. The principal amount. So again, we can prepare a table. We are paying in 4 installments. We are paying in 4 installments, so we have year 1, year 2, and year 3. So the hire purchase interest will calculate it on a yearly basis. So for year 1, we'll have 9,000. Then we subtract minus 1,000. So if you subtract 1,000 from 9,000, that will be 8,000. Then 8,000, we multiply it by 10%. Multiply it by 10%. So what will that give us? The interest there. The interest there is 8,000 times 10%. That is 800. Yes. Yes, Belinda, 800. Kavesu, 800. Okay, that's good. Now our capital here, Cecilia Mwangi, 800. Rebecca Kimani, Kelvin Masharia. Okay, that's okay. Then the capital, we have already calculated that. So for each year, 2,000. And then now the installments. Now for the installments now, we'll add higher purchase interest plus now the capital. So in our case, we'll have 800 plus 2,000, which will be 2,800 as the installment for year 1. Remember, in our formula, we said you take the cash price minus the down payment over the number of installments plus the accrued interest. So the accrued interest is on its own. So that's how we are getting the higher purchase interest for year 1. Now, when we move to year 2 now, the same way we were looking at the other one, the outstanding balance here will be 8,000. This you can do well, 8,000, because we are already looked at them. Plus now the interest there, which is 800. And then we subtract the installments for year 1, which is 2,800. Then times 10%. So what will that give us? 8,000 plus 800 minus 2,800, and then we multiply that by 10%. So from Koba 600, Kavesu 600, Belinda 600, Kelvin Masharia, Joram Jenga. So the amount there is 600. The amount there is 600. And remember, the capital is the same, 2,000. Capital is the same, 2,000. So it means that now the installment will also be 2,000 plus 600. That will be 2,600. So again, we can also move on. Maybe at your free time, you will get the interest in year 3 and in year 4, plus again the installment for year 3 and 4. Because of time, I want us to move to the last one. We can move to the last method, which is sum of digits. So please, this one, you'll finish it at your free time. Let's move to sum of digits. Okay, now maybe to answer Belinda. Belinda is saying that we need one thing to be constant. I was trying to show you the two methods. Now the onus will be in you now to decide now which method is compatible to you. You see now one method can be very okay with me and not okay with another person. So I think that one I'm leaving it to you as a student to decide on which method. To me, I'm okay with both the two. I can use both the two. Remember, we have said we can get the higher purchase interest using straight line method, and straight line method, we looked at it. Number 2, we can also use the actuarial method, and that is what I've shown. Number 3, we move to sum of digits. But Belinda wanted just one method, which is, you know, we are in a learning process. So in learning process, we learn the different methods. But, you know, when you go to an industry now, I assume that you are employed in these higher purchase companies. Now, you will find that according to their policies, they may be using sum of digits. Another company may be using actuarial to calculate their interest. But for the purpose of our learning, we are just going to look at the 3. I think I've answered you, unless I've not got your question right. I'm seeing you typing, so maybe I can give you time so that you type and ask. Yes, I'm still waiting for Belinda before we move to the next method of getting the higher purchase interest. Remember, we are still on higher purchase interest, on how to calculate it. We said we can calculate it using the straight line method, which we showed. We can also calculate it using actuarial method, which we have shown. And now we can move to the sum of it. Move to the sum of digits. sum of digits. Now in sum of digits, the higher purchase interest is apportioned to the digit assigned. It is apportioned to the digit assigned in descending order. In descending order. I hope we can understand or we know what a descending order is. Descending order. So if we talk about the ascending, for example, if we have 5 years, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, and year 5, for example. Now, you can first of all get the sum of these digits. So you can add 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. So 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 3 is 6, 6 plus 4 is 10, 10 plus 5 is 50. So that is the sum of these. Now, when we are talking about descending, now we'll start by now for year 1, now we start with 5. Year 2, we move to 4, 3, 2, and then maybe 1. So that is what we mean by apportioning the interest to the digit assigned in the descending order. Now, using this method, more interest is charged in the earlier periods and less interest charged. More interest is charged in the earlier periods and less interest charged in later periods. Less interest charged in later periods. So what we mean is that now, if you look at what we have here, in year 1, we start with the 5, then we move to 4. So it means that interest charged here will be more than the interest charged in year 5, which is 1 out of maybe the sum of digits. So we can also look at an example, but maybe before that we can give a formula. So assuming that our number of installments, we denote the number of installments as n as the number of installments. So the sum of digits, therefore, the sum of digits will be given by, so let me write it down here, n into, the sum of digits will be given by n into n plus 1 n into n plus 1 divided by 2. So this is now the formula that we will use for the sum of digits. Now, the higher purchase interest per installment, maybe we can move to the next, we can wrap that. The higher purchase interest per installment will be given by total higher purchase interest, total higher purchase interest total hire purchase interest times now digit assigned digit assigned. That is clear. Digit assigned in the installment. So total hire purchase interest times digit assigned in the installment divided by sum of digits, sum of digits divided by sum of digits, sum of digits total installment, sum of digits of total installment. So that is how we will get now the sum of digits. So for the sum of digits, even if you don't use this formula here, this formula will give you the same thing that I've shown here. But now, if you have now like 20 years, now this first formula may not be compatible if we have 20 years. So you can use the second formula there. You can use the second formula there, which is n into n plus 1. That is if you have a longer periods of time, divide by 2 to get the sum of the digits. So I think that is clear. Maybe we can look at an illustration. Again, I'm going to post it there in the public chat. Please let me know if you can see our question there. Okay, thank you, thank you. Now we are told that a motor vehicle was purchased under the hire purchase okay. Now our problem there, we are told that a motor vehicle was purchased under hire purchase agreement. The cash price is 10,000. Hire purchase price is 13,600. So please, this is not the right price of the vehicles. 13,600 installments is made in 4 months. The date of sale is 1st October 2016. Then we are told to calculate the interest under each of the 3 cases. Then the first installment, we are told to, okay, the 3 cases are: 1, the first installments due at the end of the month from the date of sale. So it means that now we'll calculate the installment in 1st November 2016. Then B, the first installment due at the beginning of the month following the date of sale. Okay, and then C, the first installment due at the date of sale, meaning 1st October 2016. So that is what we have there. We can start with the first one, so I can grab this. Okay. We calculate now the first installment due at the end of the month from the date of the sale. So in this case now, we first of all we have to get the total hire purchase interest. So maybe we solve that. So total hire purchase interest okay. Someone is requesting for a break. Maybe we take a break for 5 minutes and then we come back. That is in order. That is in order. So please, can we 3,600 times 4 out of 10, Kavesu 1440. Okay, so that is 1440. So we do the same again, second installment. Second installment, Joram 14, Mwasi Onkoba, Waweru 1440. So second installment again, 3,600 times, remember we are moving in descending orders. So for second installment will be 3 out of 10. Then you get that. For the third installment, again 3,600 times now 2 out of 10. Then for the fourth installment, please, I hope some are getting the products there. So for the fourth installments, we have 3,600 times now 1 out of 10. So maybe you can tell me, you can see on Koba 1080, 720, 1080, 720, 360. Okay, correct. So that's okay. 1080. Cecilia Mwangi, again, the same. Waweru Albert, the same. So we have unanimously agreed. Kelvin Masharia, we are in fourth year. So for the fourth year, that is 360. 360, which is okay. So that is for, okay, Anyango Lodge, 1080, 720, 360, that is okay. This is for case A and B. Now for the other case, case C, is when the first installment is due at the date of the sale. Remember, the date of the sale was 1st October. 1st October 2016. Yes. So when the installment is due at the date of sale, first of all, we'll get, I can clear this. We get the total hire purchase interest. We get the total hire purchase interest the same way we determined the other one. So what we did was we subtracted 10,000 from 13,600. We subtracted 10,000 from 13,600, and that gave us 3,600. That gave us 3,600. Then now for our case now, the sum of digits. Now if you read the case, let me read it again. Now is In case 3, we are told to calculate the interest when the first installment is due at the date of sale. Is due at the date of sale. So the date of sale is 1st October 2016. So it means that now the sum of digits now will be in 3 installments and not, our n will now be 3 and not 4. So if n is 3, now, then it means that now our sum of digits will be 3 into 3 plus 1 divided by 2. So please, you can get that. 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 divided by 2, that will be 6. So our n will be 6. Okay, thank you, Belinda and Kelvin. Now the first installment now will now be 3 or 3,600 first. Okay, 3,600 times 3 over 6. Then second installment for the second month, again 3,600 times 2 out of 6. So you can be calculating that. Then the third one will be 3,600 times now 1 out of 6. So please, can you get these values? And now in the fourth installment now, will have nothing, because it is 3,600 times 0 over 6 times 0 over 6, which is just 0. So I can see Kelvin 188. Kelvin, can you check the one for the first installment? So here the first installment here will be 1,800. Then we have 1,200. And then lastly 600. Okay, so can you confirm that? Confirm that, Kelvin? Okay, now somebody is asking why we are using 3 installments and not 4. Okay, Kelvin has confirmed the 1,800, which is okay. Now I'm using 3, n as 3, and not 4, because now the interest, if you look at our question first, if you look at our question, we are told that the first installment is due at the date of sale. At the date of sale, not at the end of the month. So if it is at the date of sale, then it means that now the number of installments that will be made will not now be 4. They will be less than the 4 because you start paying immediately. You start paying immediately. Maybe I can illustrate that. So let me wrap this. So assuming you are to pay in 4 months, not months, but okay, let me just use the months. Let me just use the month. So we have maybe first month, second month, the third month, and then the fourth one. So if you are to pay at the end of this, so this will be the first installment. This will be the second one at the end of the second month. At the end of the third month, you pay another installment. At the end of the fourth month, you pay another installment. But now for our case, you start paying here at the beginning. So if you start paying at the beginning, you'll pay the one at the beginning, at the end, second year, third year. So you'll not have to pay you would have finished the 4 installments in year 3. That is why we are using N as 3 and not now 4. I hope we are clear there, Regina. I've seen Belinda has also answered you there. Okay. So if I think, okay, thank you. You have understood. I think now we can move to our discussion forum. There is an exercise that I want us to cover there, a short one. And please let everyone contribute. Remember, I am marking